Hello children, welcome to another session of Science Class 4. Today we will understand Lesson 10 and will solve exercise of Lesson 10. This lesson will help you to understand the relationship between living things and their habitat and to evaluate how animals adapt to their habitat and to analyze how these adaptations help animals survive. In last lecture, I have given you one riddle, who am I, to solve and send me your answer, which is I have a light body, I am covered with feathers, I have wings to help me to fly. So, Keshwani Fatima Zahra Muhammad Taqi has sent right answer, which is bird. So, congratulations to Keshwani Fatima Zahra Muhammad Taqi. So, let's understand what is adaptation. An adaptation is a way an animal's body helps it to survive or live in its environment. Animals depend on their physical features to help them obtain food, keep safe, and build homes. And these physical features are called physical adaptation. Living things are adapted to the habitat they live in. This is because they have these special features that help them to survive. They makes it possible for the animal to live in a particular way. Examples of the basic adaptations that help animals survive are shape of a bird's beak, the number of fingers, color of the fur, the thickness or thinness of the fur, the shape of the nose or ears. Some animals have scales and some animals have spots. So this diversity in appearance and behavior is caused by animal adaptation. So, like plants, animals have also developed certain features which help them to survive in the environment, and those animals that cannot adapt to the changes in their environment slowly die out. For example, dinosaur. Now let's understand animal classification on the absence or presence of a backbone. So, human like you can move because your body is supported by an internal skeleton which works as a support structure for your body. It gives the body its shape and allow movement. But not all animals walk and run around like humans. Their skeleton have adapted to different forms of movement, like fish swim, because their long flexible backs and strong fins allow them to swim through water easily. And even like frog hops, because their strong back legs and large feet help them to jump. And birds fly because their arms have turned into wings. Some animals like insects have a completely different type of skeleton which are invertebrate. Means an animal without a backbone. So invertebrates live in every part of the world. In fact, most of the animals on earth are invertebrate. Invertebrate come in all different shape and size. So, animals that do not have a backbone are called invertebrates. For example, insects such as cockroach, ant and worms, and such as slug and snail. An insect have 6 legs and their body is divided into 3 parts: head, thorax and abdomen. And most insects have a hard outer covering made up of material called chitin. A few insects such as mosquitoes and butterflies can fly. Now let's understand about vertebrates. All vertebrates have muscles and skeleton that help them to move around easily and perform complex moves. Even they have bones that are inside a body and which gives them their shape and allows them to stand erect. So, animals that have a backbone are called vertebrates, and they can be further divided into smaller groups like fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. Now let's understand features of fish. So, a fish is an animal which lives and breathes in water. All fish are vertebrates, means they have a backbone, and most of them breathe through their gills and have fins and scales. They have lived on earth for more than 450 million years, and there are more than 24,000 species or kinds of fish. Even do you know, new ones are discovered every year, and they live in lakes, rivers, seas and ocean around the world. They live in all kind of water, from warm spring to cold Arctic seas, and they can even be found in the dark pools of underground caves. But they cannot live in water that is extremely salty. And they are cold-blooded animals, which means their internal body temperature changes as the surrounding temperature changes. So, this group consists of a large variety of animals that live in water, and these animals breathe through gills, and they have fins to swim, and their body is covered with scales. Now let's understand features of amphibians. So, most of the animals known as amphibians can live on land as well as in water. Even they are vertebrates or animals with backbone. So, these animals live both on land and in water, and most of them breathe both through their lung and the moist skin. Now let's understand about features of reptiles. A reptile is an air-breathing animal that has scales instead of hair or feathers. Reptiles have lived on earth for more than 280 million years. So they have a scaly skin and reproduce by laying eggs. Lizard, snake and crocodile are reptile, and they are cold-blooded animals, which means that their body temperature changes with the change in the temperature of their surrounding. Now let's understand about features of birds. So from pigeon in big cities to penguin in Antarctica, all birds have similar features. They all have wings, though they cannot all fly. And all birds also have feathers. In fact, birds are the only living animals that have feathers. So they have a light body, they are covered with feathers, they have wings that help them to fly, like sparrow and eagle. But birds such as kiwi and penguin, however, cannot fly because they have a heavy body, and they are called flightless birds. Now let's understand about features of mammals. So some animals do not lay egg and they reproduce by giving birth to young ones that feed on their mother's milk. Mammals are example of such animals, and they have very well developed brains, and they have hair on their body. Human being along with dog, cat, lion, elephant, deer, cow, buffalo, hippopotamus, all are some example of mammals. Now let's understand about habitat of animal. So a habitat is a special place where a plant or animal lives, just like you have a home or a place to live. Same way, animals also have their home. So as you know, animals are found in every part of the world. Some live in forest, others live in hot and sandy desert, some live in lakes, rivers and the sea, and they are even found in very cold areas like Arctic, where the ice never melts. So humans live in many different parts of the world. They eat many kinds of food. They wear different clothes to suit the weather, whether it is hot or cold. But animals and plants can only live in places where the weather suits them. So animals live in places where they get the right food. A fish can only live in water. Animals with a thick furry coat live in very cold places. So the place where an animal can live is called its habitat. So animals are found everywhere, on land, on trees, flying in the air and in water. So some animals are also found on both land and water. So based on where animals spend most of their time, they can be grouped into terrestrial animal, arboreal animals, aerial animals, aquatic animal and amphibians animals. Now let's understand about terrestrial animals. So terrestrial habitat are ones that are found on land like forest, grassland, deserts, mountain, and terrestrial habitats also include man-made habitats like farms, cities, and towns. So, animals that live on land are called terrestrial animals. These animals have features suitable for life on land, and they have legs which help them to walk on land, and most of them have lungs as their breathing organ. And climatic condition may vary from place to place. Sometimes it is cold on the mountain and in polar region, whereas it is very hot in the desert. For example, a yak lives on the mountain and a polar bear lives in polar region. And even animals such as seal, penguin and vulture are adapted to live in freezing conditions. Now let's understand about aquatic animals. So they are those animals that live underwater. They live in water. They either live in fresh water such as lakes, rivers and ponds, or in salty water like the ocean. And most people only think of fish when asked about aquatic animals. But apart from fish, octopus, turtle and crab are also aquatic animals. So animals that live in water are called aquatic animals, and most of them breathe through gills except whales and dolphins that breathe through lungs, and most of them have fins that help them to swim. Now let's understand about amphibians, which live part of their lives on dry land and the rest of their lives in the water. Most of them hatch from eggs, and they have gills and fins that allow them to survive in water. But most of them also have legs that are useful when they are living on the land. And they are cold-blooded animals, which means that they can change their body temperature with the change in the temperature of their surrounding. And the back legs of these animals are stronger than their front legs, and this helps them to jump, which is how they move on land. And they have web feet that help them to swim in water. Now let's understand about features of arboreal animal. So, an arboreal habitat is a home for organisms that live in trees, which provide them food, shelter, and other conditions so that they can live. These animals are land animals that live mostly on trees. They have sharp claws to climb up and down the branches and usually have strong and muscular limbs. Some can use their tail for holding onto the branches. For example, monkey. Now let's understand about aerial animals. These are animals that can fly and spend a lot of their time in the air. And such animals have hollow bones that make their bodies light. That they have one set of limbs modified as wings to help them fly. Their body shape is such that they are able to cut through the air easily, and almost all birds except flightless birds belongs to this group. Even bats also form a part of these groups. In the cold winter month, when food becomes scarce, many birds fly towards warmer countries in search of food and warmth. Now let's understand and write. Choose the correct option. First, THE, the HARD, hard, OUTER, outer, COVERING, covering, in, INSECTS, insects, is, MADE, made, OF, off. So the question is, the hard outer covering in insects is made of dash. So as you know, insects have 6 legs and their body is divided into 3 parts. And they have hard outer covering made up of material which is called chitin, CHITIN, chitin. So answer is option D. Now next question, WHICH, which OF, THESE, these HELP, help, FISH, fish, TO2, SWIM, swim, in, WATER, water. So the question is, which of these help a fish to swim in water? So answer is option A, FINS, fins. So as different animals have different things or features which help them to fly or walk or to jump. The same way, fish have fins which help them to swim in water. Now next question, WHICH, which OF, THESE, these ANIMALS, animals, CAN L-I-V-E, live, B-O-T-H, both, O-N, on, L-A-N-D, land, A-N-D, and, I-N, in, W-A-T-E-R, water. So the question is, which of these animals can live both on land and in water? So answer is option B, N-E-W-T, nude, which is an amphibian, which means the animals which can live both on land and in water. Now next question, W-H-I-C-H, which O-F of T-H-E-S-E, these I-S is N-O-T, not a B-I-R-D, bird. So the question is, which of these is not a bird? So answer is option D, B-A-T, bat. So bats are animals, but they can fly. That is due to the flaps of between their digits. So bat is not a bird just because that it has the ability to fly. Now next question, W-H-I-C-H, which O-F of T-H-E-S-E, these A-N-I-M-A-L-S, animals, I-S is W-A-R-M, worm, B-L-O-O-D-E-D, blooded. So the question is, which of these animals is warm-blooded? So as you know, lizard, snake and crocodile are reptile, which are cold-blooded animals, while option B, bear, is warm-blooded animal. Now next question, W-H-E-R-E, where D-O-E-S, does, A-Y-A-K, yak, L-I-V-E, live. So the question is, where does a yak live? Option A, O-N, on, T-H-E, the, M-O-U-N-T-A-I-N-S, mountains. So as you know, different terrestrial animals live at different places, like polar bear lives in the polar region, camel lives in desert, like that yak live on the mountains. Now next, W-H-I-C-H, which O-F of T-H-E-S-E, these A-N-I-M-A-L-S, animals, I-S is E-X-T-I-N-C-T, extinct. So the question is, which of these animals is extinct? So as you know, that some animals such as the dodo and passenger pigeons have already disappeared from the earth, and which are called extinct animals. Now next question, W-H-I-C-H, which O-F of T-H-E-S-E, these S-U-B-S-T-A-N-C-E-S, substances, I-S is P-L-A-N-T, plant, F-O-O-D, food, R-I-C-H, rich, I-N, in. Which of these substances is plant food rich in? So as you know, herbivorous animals have sharp teeth for biting and cutting and very strong teeth for grinding, and this is because that plant food needs to be chewed a lot, as it is very rich in substance called cellulose. So answer is option A, C-E-L-L-U-L-O-S-E, cellulose. So today we have learned that based on the presence or absence of backbone, animals can be divided into two groups, vertebrates and invertebrates. And animals with a backbone or vertebrates can be further divided into groups such as fish, birds, amphibians, reptiles and mammals. Then animals can also be grouped according to the place they live in. They may be terrestrial, aquatic, amphibian, arboreal and aerial. Then animals can be also grouped as herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, scavengers or parasites depending on their feeding habits.